Imagine this, 2022, inflation spikes to 9%. Your weekly groceries up $20. Savings account bleeding value, but the top 1%, their collective wealth surges by trillions even as markets wobble. How do they turn economic fire into fuel? That's the story. Fast forward to now, January 2026. Inflation simmered to about 2.7%. Still, it's there, quietly eroding what you earn. Prices for basics, food, fuel, rent, keep climbing, outpacing many paychecks. For the average person, it's a slow grind. For the wealthy, a calculated edge. Why dig in now? Because the next surge could hit any time. Geopolitics, supply chains, policy shifts. Knowing their playbook isn't envy, it's clarity. Let's peel this back step by step. Start with the basics. The rich don't stuff cash under the mattress. Cash loses punch as prices rise. A dollar today buys less tomorrow. Instead, they channel wealth into things that push back harder. First up, real estate. Not just a mansion for show. Think apartment blocks, commercial spaces, farmland. When inflation hits, building costs soar. Property values climb. Rents? They adjust upward often faster than expenses. Picture a landlord in New York. Inflation jumps 5%. He bumps rents by 7%. Tenants foot the bill. His income stream swells, hedging the bite. And if he borrowed to buy, more on that later. Next, stocks. The market's a beast, volatile, sure, but over time companies adapt. Costs go up, they pass it on, revenues inflate, profits follow, dividends grow. The S&P 500 historically averages about 7% annual return after inflation. The wealthy load up on blue chips, index funds, not gambling, compounding. While your emergency fund earns peanuts in a bank, their portfolio churns out gains that outrun the erosion. Then commodities, gold, oil, even timber. Tangible stuff. When currency weakens, these hold or rise. Gold's a classic. During the 1970s inflation nightmare, it quadrupled in value. The rich treat it like insurance. Not the bulk of their wealth, but a slice, 5–10% to blunt the edges. Don't forget bonds with a twist. Treasury inflation-protected securities or TIPS. Government issues them. Principal adjusts with the consumer price index. If inflation ticks up 3%, your bond's value does too. Interest payments follow suit. Save steady. The wealthy park chunks here for ballast, especially in retirement pots. Now, alternatives. Art, wine, collectibles. Sounds flashy, but it's strategic. These appreciate irregularly, but often beat inflation long term. A Picasso bought in the 90s could be worth 10 times more now. Irony here, while you're hunting bargains at the store, they're bidding on assets that quietly compound and infrastructure. Toll roads, airports, data centers, these generate fees that often link to inflation. Contracts build in escalators. As costs rise, tolls do too. Steady cash flow, low volatility. The ultra-rich funnel through private equity, funds you and I rarely touch. Diversification amps it up. Not all eggs in one basket or country. Offshore accounts in Switzerland, Singapore, international stocks, emerging markets. When U.S. inflation flares, maybe Europe's cooling. Spreads the risk, captures growth elsewhere. Subtle absurdity. The rich, with the most to lose, act the most globally paranoid. Here's where tension builds. Debt, not the crippling kind. Strategic leverage. The wealthy borrow against assets, often at fixed low rates. Inflation, it devalues the dollar. They repay with cheaper money tomorrow. Crunch the uncomfortable math. Say a billionaire borrows $10 million at 4% fixed. Inflation averages 5% over the loan. Real interest rate, -1%. Essentially, the bank pays him to borrow. He invests in real estate or stocks yielding 8%. Net gain massive. Meanwhile, if you're debt-free, saving diligently, inflation chips away at your pile. No leverage, no edge. Scale it up. The top 1% often carry debt equal to 10–20% of assets, not reckless, calculated. During the 2021 to 2023 inflation run, as rates held low initially, they locked in cheap money, assets ballooned, debt shrank in real terms. Stakes rise. This isn't available to everyone. You need collateral, credit, advisors. Contrast the hype. Public narrative, buckle down, save more, cut lattes. Banks tout high-yield savings at maybe 4% now. Sounds safe. Reality, after 2.7% inflation, your real return slim. Taxes nibble further. The rich, their blended portfolio might net 7 to 10% post-inflation. Hype sells caution. Reality rewards risk, managed risk, quiet humor in the gap. We're told to fear debt like the plague. They embrace it like an old friend. Zoom out. Long-term implications? This system supercharges inequality. From 1989 to 2022, top 1% wealth tripled in real terms. Bottom 50% barely doubled. Inflation widens the chasm. Low-income folks spend on necessities, food, gas hit hardest. No assets to heat. DGG, wealth concentrates upward. Risks lurk. What if inflation flips to deflation? Assets deflate, debt burdens swell. Or hyperinflation, wipes savings, but chaos for all. Geopolitical shocks, wars, tariffs could spike prices unpredictably. Even the rich aren't immune, just better armored. So as prices creep and fortunes diverge, one question lingers. Is inflation the silent tax on the masses or the rocket fuel for the elite? You decide